Alright, so this is my first ever YouTube video like this, so we're just gonna see how this goes because I feel like yapping, and I feel like because there's been just so much going on with the way I feel and the way other people have been feeling, just in my life and just in the world in general, honestly. I just feel like, I love talking, I love yapping, so I might as well make videos. Okay, well, first I'd like to start with, happiness. And I'm not trying to sound like I'm a fucking psychologist or a philosopher, nothing crazy, but let's start with happiness and my perspective on happiness because here's the thing about happiness is I don't think it's healthy to always chase it. And I don't mean like oh you should never do things so you can be happy. No, I don't mean that at all. I mean like being happy shouldn't be your only goal in life. Yes, it's a big goal and you should be happy. You should never have things in your life that make you the opposite. You should never have things that make you sad or expose you to hard feelings, to trauma, to things like that. Um, and if I were to just break down what I mean like it's okay to not be happy all the time. People always say this. People always say as long as you're happy. People always say like whatever makes you happy, and that's just to me that is not just like the point of everything. That can't be the point of everything. It's just whatever makes you happy. That sounds more like an excuse to me. It sounds more like an excuse to give up or an excuse to leave something behind. Does that make sense? Um, if we were to talk about it in a relationship sense, I think the term like whatever makes you happy is a selfish term to say because in a relationship, in any relationship, friend, family, partner, anything, you're not always going to be happy and you shouldn't. You should not always be happy. You're not a robot. If you were a robot, you'd be dancing happy every day, doing whatever. No. You should be happy and content with your life, yes. But you should not just be happy everything you do because being happy all the time takes away from the value of your emotions. It really does. I know being happy feels good, but when you're happy all the time, you're never sad, you're never nervous, you're never anxious, you know, you're never experiencing these things that you should experience in life and that you should go through to like further elevate yourself. And I think everybody, not that you should have a sad experience, no, but everybody should be I believe that everybody should just come to the conclusion that you can't always be happy. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's okay to be sad sometimes. It's okay to, you know, to just, want to fall apart and give up. And I think that's where people get so they get so panicky and they get so like torn is because they feel like because they're not happy, they're failing in life. And I don't think you could be any more wrong. I think I think the the opposite of that would be, you know, if you were happy all the time, or just because you're not happy doesn't mean you're fucking up. Probably gonna cut that out. I don't want to curse. Just because you're happy all the time doesn't not happy all the time doesn't mean you're messing up. It just means you're living life. I don't know how else to put that. If you know, fuck, I can't start fumbling now. Hold up, lock in. Let me lock in. The opposite of that, right? Um, you're not feeling at life if you're not always happy. Now, you should be happy from time to time. You should be happy and content and not miserable. You should never be miserable. But you should be happy, But you shouldn't be chasing that happiness so much to the point that when you don't have it, you feel like you're falling apart. Because I'm going to tell you right now, in this life, you will never always be happy. You're always going to have sad moments in your life, and that's just the way it is. But there's more to life than just happy and sad, you know? There's more to life than just stress um and death and depression. There's more. There's just more. Um but yeah, that's just kind of what I wanted to talk about. Kind of just wanted to share my mind on that. Kind of just wanted to share my mind on that. Like, don't feel like because you're not happy in the moment that you are doing something wrong. You're not doing anything wrong. You're not messing up. You are okay. And another point I wanted to touch on, like when you're when you're scrambling and you're feeling like you're not happy, um, that's why people get like that because there's such an expectation set on everybody that if you're not happy, you're doing it wrong. I don't believe that's true. Um, I just don't believe that's true. I don't think there is a point to life if you are always happy. If you are non-stop joyous in everything you do. Now, should you chase your dreams, do things you're passionate about, and be content with your life? Not settle. Not settle. I don't mean settle. I mean content. Like you do what you wanted to do, and you sit at home and you go, "I'm glad I did that, and I'm glad that I made those decisions." That's what you should be. You should be happy that you made those decisions in your life. You should be happy with the decisions you make. If you are unhappy with the decisions you make, then you should change them. And it's never too late to change, and it's never too late to um, crawl out of that hole that you've dug yourself. Because at one point, everyone's going to dig themselves a hole. I mean, nobody's perfect. Everyone knows that. But I don't know why, just as people, we can't act like we can. We can't act like we make mistakes. We all make mistakes. It's not even. I'm not even saying anything new here. I'm not even putting out new information. If anything, I'm just reaffirming what people should know. But I feel like nobody knows this, or nobody practices this, and nobody really displays this in their life and in their actions. Everyone's hurt. Everyone's hurt, and that's okay. And that's what I wanted to let you know is that it's okay to be hurt, to not be happy. Don't feel like you're failing at life because you're not happy. It's not the point. But I also think that your happiness does, for the most part, depend on your decisions. It depends on you. Your happiness depends on what you do. If you are not doing what you hold yourself to, if you are not valuing the decisions you make in your life to the value that you hold yourself to, of course you're not going to be happy. And if you don't value yourself, every decision you make is not going to make you happy. It's it just sucks because it's hard. It's hard to get around that. It's hard to just like self-reflect and come to that place you where you're okay with who you are and how you act, and to a point where you can also hold yourself accountable for the way you act and who you are. Because if every person is if you are you're a reflection of your actions, then your actions are what's are is what is going to make you happy. Is what is going to feel your emotions, the decisions you make. Um, and don't ever feel like the decisions you make are worthless because they never are. The decisions you make in life are oh I just shook my desk. They are beyond important, and not just to you, but to everyone around you. You may think that nobody's listening, but I'll tell you right now, somebody is. Why did my computer? All right, well, my computer just like tried to fall asleep on me. Anyway, but yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. I just kind of wanted to share my mind on that. That if I were to do a quick summary, because I know I kind of repeat it a lot, but if I could do a quick summary, maybe be okay with not being happy sometimes. Because if you're happy all the time, you're not real. You're not real. That doesn't exist. People can act like it, but it doesn't exist. You know, the lives you see on social media, the big personalities, the money, um, relationship goals, looks, all that stuff. Which half of it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That's why rich people. That's why rich people can be depressed and poor people can be happy. Your financial situation doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Like I'm not rich, but I'm also not poor. But I'm not always happy, and that's fine. I think that's fine. I think it's good to not always be happy. I think it's healthy to not always be happy. And if your life is surrounded with distractions and, things that are always just hitting your dopamine and, you know, then you're just distracted, you know, surrounding yourself by things that you want. But, but, just because I say you should not be happy all the time does not mean I want you to be sad. No, I'm just trying to those who aren't happy in the moment, I want you to realize that it's okay to not be happy in the moment. You're not your life's not falling apart, you're not going anywhere. However, I'm also not saying that, you know, things that are in your life that make you the opposite, that make you sad, that make you angry, that, maybe make you feel like a worse person than you value yourself, then I think you shouldn't have that in your life. Definitely not. Definitely not. If something is negatively impacting you and you know it's negatively impacting you to the point where you are almost addicted to whatever that is, whether that be a person, whether that be a substance, a hobby, to an unhealthy point where it's negatively affecting you, then you shouldn't pursue that anymore or as frequently. Um, I'm gonna say one thing: don't let your life fall apart because you can't come to the realization that what you are addicted to is ruining your life. But anyway, that's it. I just wanted to talk about that um, little yap sesh. First YouTube video probably um, on this channel. But as you can see, go check out my links right here. My TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. These are all the same as my Twitch. So you guys can go tune into that. I'm usually live every day at around 5 to whatever Dylan puts up here. Usually 7, 6 or 7. But that's all I wanted to say. So have a good day and um, stay true to yourself.